I don't know if y'all saw this yet, but there was a massive ICE raid in Seattle. You got to check this out.
Today, the Drug Enforcement Administration announced a massive drug bust connected to a major Mexican cartel. 19 people have been charged, including Washingtonians and foreign nationals.
Fox 14 News reporter Nia Wong.
Some of these shipments were so large they were brought here in semi-trucks.
Seattle woke up to chaos. In a sweeping pre-dawn raid, federal agents stormed warehouses, ports, and neighborhoods, uncovering a Sinaloa cartel command cell operating inside the city. The mission, Operation Take Back America, was an 18-month joint DEA-ICE offensive that exposed how deeply cartels had embedded within U.S. borders. For Seattle, it wasn't just a bust. It was the day the fentanyl war reached home.
And Homeland Security officials say Mexican cartels now are attempting to track, harass, and target immigration and border patrol agents.
The numbers told the story better than any headline could. 19 people tied directly to Mexico's Sinaloa cartel faced 37 federal charges, from conspiracy to drug trafficking to weapons violations. The arrests spanned Seattle, Tacoma, and surrounding counties. Agents seized 4,165 pounds of methamphetamine, 269 pounds of fentanyl, 23 pounds of cocaine, 6.4 pounds of heroin, and a stockpile of 23 firearms, some modified for automatic fire, and explosive materials recovered from hidden compartments inside suburban garages. Each item on that list represented not just contraband, but an industry's entire infrastructure exposed in one sweep.
Breaks down how federal agents tracked this case from Tacoma to Sinaloa, Mexico.
You're looking at a fraction of the hundreds of pounds of methamphetamine seized by the Drug Enforcement Administration and partnering agencies.
Investigators later said the fentanyl alone could have produced 6.9 million lethal doses, enough to wipe out the combined populations of Seattle and Tacoma several times over. In total, 51 arrests across the country were linked to the same supply chain, showing how deep the operation reached. The takedown wasn't a single lucky raid. It was the end of an 18-month pursuit across multiple states, tracking encrypted chats, tracing wire transfers, and decoding a smuggling network that treated American highways like conveyor belts. The cartel behind it wasn't new. It was the same Sinaloa empire that had spent decades moving product across borders, adapting faster than any government agency could respond. But the structure discovered in Seattle wasn't an import. It was a branch office. The network had found a way to operate from within, merging local contacts, legal trade routes, and financial channels into a self-sustaining system. When investigators followed the trail, they found two names at the center: Rosario Abel Wayne Camargo Bañuelos, 31, and his younger brother Francisco Fernando Camargo Bañuelos, 24.
This could have killed every person in every community in the Puget Sound region.
Investigators say this ring distributed deadly drugs up the West Coast to Washington.
Did y'all see that, bro? They had rocket launchers. Like, what were they going to do with those? Now, somebody's going to have to help me out here because I'm not political. I don't really have a full understanding of border control and how this is exactly supposed to work, but I'm going to learn about this. I'm going to figure this out, especially as good people like yourself help me to understand this. But just thinking this through, my logical question is, if you don't have certain policies set in place and laws to discourage illegals from coming over, how do you stop this type of stuff from happening? Now, I get it. Just because you have a law that's set in place doesn't mean that people are going to obey the laws, and there's always going to be lawbreakers. That's why we have illegal guns on the streets at this current moment. And then you have people that want to take away the guns completely. That's a different conversation. But I understand that law breaking is going to take place no matter what. But again, thinking this through, if people are already coming over here like this illegally, how much easier would it be for them to do this if we just completely opened up the borders to anybody and allowed them to come over? In my opinion, my humble opinion at that, if you take away the laws in place to discourage people from illegally coming over into America, we will definitely see more notorious people like this selling drugs, having rocket launchers on the streets, bro. Like, wow, that's crazy to think about. There could be somebody in your city with a rocket launcher that can do anything, blow up a school, bank, whatever. Like, that's crazy. And I think this is what you're fighting for if you don't want border policies and border control. I think the left is wrong on this one, but this is a channel where we put God first, not the left, not the right, or anything else in between, seeking the kingdom and not the American dream. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button, like this video so it can get pushed out to others. Until another one of my videos hit your feed, stay away from the streets where there are rocket launchers.